If this is really a buyer's market, then friend, you should be busier than ever. And if you're not, we need to talk. Now, don't come for me in comments. I already know you list, you last, and I believe that wholeheartedly that to have an extended real estate business, you need to focus on listings. But let's talk for real about the season that we're in. Because yeah, you list, you last, but these listings are lasting on the market a long time right now. Therefore, this is a really good time to make sure that you are amping up your marketing, to make sure that you are also attracting buyer clients, because let's be honest, in a lot of cases, it's just easier in the season that we're in real estate. So I'm going to break down with you about 7 ways that you need to be focusing on buyers and bringing them in right now. And the average agent is only doing about 1 or 2 of these. So you will be way ahead of the game when you follow what I tell you to do in this episode. Okay, bestie, before I get into the list of the things that you can be doing to attract these clients, I have actually set it all up in a checklist for you. So head on over to rosemarylewis.com/buyer checklist or look in the description box, and friend, I already have it set up for you. So the first one, your listing should be bringing you buyers. As you are marketing your listings, okay, and as you are marketing so that you can get more buyers in the door, what your marketing should do is that it should introduce you to a new pool of buyers that if you choose to, you will be able to work with them. I just recently had this happen on one of our listings where, I was just thinking of some different creative ways to market it. And I used language on Facebook that I knew would attract buyers. What it also did, though, is that it had people sliding in my DMs asking me about deals that were similar to the listing that I posted, right? For whatever reason, that listing doesn't work to them, but it attracted them as buyers that now I get to follow up with, that I get to have scheduled consultations with, and things like that. Now, you may be saying to yourself, well, Rosemary, I personally don't have any listings, so how am I going to leverage it? Well, friend, I'm happy that you asked. This is when you are talking to other agents in your brokerage, in your market, you get their permission and you say, hey, is it okay that I start marketing your listings, okay? So when buyers see that you are the person that is sharing about different deals, different opportunities, new neighborhoods, new homes, new builders, things like that, that is a way to attract the buyers that you want to work with. So first things first, start marketing listings and the buyers will come. Next, in order to attract buyer clients, I want you to start creating what we call lead magnets so that you are giving out information that can be interesting to someone who wants to purchase a home. And what will happen is they will click on the link to get that information, and as a result, they are now in your database. So some examples of lead magnets that you could create, it could be the 5 best neighborhoods in Frisco, Texas, 5 things that I would ask a realtor before hiring them, 3 mistakes that most first-time home buyers make, okay? All of these are things that you can create because you are smart, friend. You can create them. You can use ChatGPT or AI to help you. But the point is that when you start posting these resources and it piques the interest of people who are looking to buy, now you are different from the realtor that just says, hey, let me know when you want to buy or sell. You are actually giving them information and educating them. So when you start sharing these lead magnets, it will help you gain buyer clients. I just had a bestie, Tasha. I want to shout her out. She shared that she did this in a local Facebook group. There was somebody posting that they were interested in a realtor, wanted to get realtor recommendations, while all of the other realtors were just posting their contact information. Tasha posted her lead magnet, but check this out. She ended up with a buyer client, and it was not even the original poster. It was somebody else who clicked her link because they saw the post, and it was her lead magnet that made her stand out. So we want to be creating these lead magnets, and these are the type of skills that I teach, literally how to create the lead magnet, how to put it out in our Bestie coaching program. Now, the third way that you want to attract buyers is open houses. This is controversial for a lot of people, but I'm going to tell you that open houses still work in order to get buyers, especially in the day and age that we live in, where real estate agents who are doing it right, you have to have a signed agreement in place before people can start touring homes. So as a result, you have a lot of people who aren't committed to agents yet that will start their searches at open houses, okay? When you are strategically choosing houses, choosing to host opens in places in the area you want to work, in the price point that you want to work, then what you are going to do is you are going to naturally attract those buyers who are interested in that price point and in your desired areas. And when you do open houses the right way, you leverage it so much further than the actual open house. You leverage it on social media, you can leverage it in your newsletters, you can leverage it in your conversations. So when you are doing open houses strategically and the right way, it will bring buyer clients into your database. Here's the next one: hosting buyer information sessions. It is a gold mine. I have been hosting different home buying seminars and things like this my entire time of being in the business. And I will tell you that for 1 hour, maybe 2 hours of my time, if they're in person, I have always walked away with a closed deal from these information sessions. And I don't want you to overwhelm yourself, right? You can do a traditional home buying seminar. You can partner with your lender, or you can partner with a title specialist, or just somebody where you do an information session. It can be on Zoom on a Tuesday night. But when you add this into the rotation, what happens is you are starting to solidify yourself not only as a resource, but as an authority in the real estate space. People start to trust you because even before or as they were getting ready, you are a voice to educate them. So make sure that it is on your calendar where you are hosting these sessions. And I want to just bust a myth right quick. This does not even have to be limited to like first-time home buyers. A lot of times when we think about buyer sessions, we think about only a first-time home buyer. But what if you were to do a session for somebody like, hey, if you own a home and you need to figure out what it looks like to both sell and buy, that is what we're going to talk about, that process, in this hour. There are tons of people who will find value in a session like that. You just need to be the one to go out here and host them. Okay, how about this groundbreaking idea to attract buyers? How about just meeting people in real life? You know, when you are out and about, and whether that is a social event at one of your kids' soccer games, whether you are showing houses, whether you are, just at TJ Maxx, when you open your mouth and just start talking to people, the most amazing thing happens. You can connect with them. And when you use the magic script that I have taught you time and time again, unless you're new here, I'm going to tell you the magic script. You meet somebody brand new. When you say, where do you live? Then guess what? We have turned this ordinary conversation at the register into a real estate conversation. And now I have an opportunity, or you have an opportunity, to pivot that conversation and introduce yourself as a real estate agent and start that connection there. I have probably met, I need to actually do the math on this one day, and I probably will, but I'm going to say at least 30% of the business that I've had over the past decade, which are hundreds and hundreds of homes, have come from meeting people in the wild, actually initiating and having a conversation with them, turning that conversation into a real estate conversation, and then bam, they become a client. This is one of the best ways to actually attract the clients that you want to work with, by just starting to talk to folks. And that is such a great way to generate buyer and seller clients. You just got to start talking to people. So you got to meet and have conversations with people in your everyday life. The next one: agent to agent referrals. I don't know about you, but I want to have agent partnerships in all of the states. As a matter of fact, all over the world, okay? Because when I have a friend here in Texas and now life is taking them to Seattle, or they're going to California or something like that, I want to be able to put them in the hands of a capable real estate bestie, a capable agent who is going to take care of them in that next state. And the opposite is true. I want to make sure that I am developing relationships with those agents also, so that when their friends and mothers and sisters and brothers and all of that are looking to move to the Dallas-Fort Worth area, they are thinking of me, okay? So agent to agent referrals are a big one, but you might be saying, well, bestie, how do I get agent to agent referrals? Because everybody I know is in my market. I'm happy that you asked. Bestie, you need to get out of your market, okay? So this is where you start reinvesting back into your business, and I want you to start showing up to your brokerage annual events or different real estate seminars in a different state or a different city. As a matter of fact, I'm hosting one on March 12th in Plano, Texas, for just a small group of besties coming from all over, so that we can, number one, grow our business, but you're going to grow your referral network. When you are connecting with other agents, it is an endless possibility, because you never ever know who is going to need somebody where you live, okay? So when we are focused on these agent to agent connections, it is a big deal. And then also, I'll say this too. I have also received and sent, okay, referrals to agents that I've never met before in real life, but some sort of way we have been connected on social media, whether it's in the Real Estate Bestie Facebook group, or, they are, engaging with my content, I engage with theirs. They're putting out enough stuff where I can see exactly how they work and vice versa. That has been a big one as well. So agent to agent referrals are a great way to get and attract buyer clients. Now, piggybacking off of the fact that you will have those agent to agent referrals and you can meet some of these people on social media, it is still a great place to attract buyer clients. Now, we have talked about how you can use your listings, you can use your open houses. You want to strategically post these different things, post open-ended questions, think through some of the challenges that people have when it comes to buying a home. Make sure that you are posting content that answers some of those questions. And guess what? Again, over time, you will use your platform to be a resource, and it will attract the buyers to you, okay? And make sure that you don't just make it about real estate, because we're not just selling houses, we are exposing people to lifestyles. And when you are showing like what it looks like to live and work in Charlotte, North Carolina, when you are sharing the wins, not just posting a pretty sold picture of a house, but you are sharing how you went to bat for your client and you negotiated them, closing costs. And this is now a single mother who has home ownership for her children. Those are the things that are going to resonate, and people are going to see themselves in the stories that you tell on social media, and that will convert into more business. So make sure that you are leveraging your social media accordingly so that you can get these buyer clients. And here is the last one. Make sure that you are partnering with your lender partners so that there is reciprocity to the leads that you are both sending and receiving. And yes, I said receiving. So this is what you're probably thinking to yourself right now. Well, Rosemary, my lender, they work with 10, 15, 20 realtors. How am I going to be the one that they are sending business to? The reason is that you are going to put this out there to them in your conversations with them, okay? I am very clear with my lender partners, like, hey, at the end of the year or a couple times a year, we talk about how we are going to help each other build a business. And while I truly, truly appreciate the fact that my lenders get the people from, the application process through underwriting into closing, I also appreciate it when they call me and say, you know what, I have somebody who is looking in the area that you specialize in. I want to connect them with you. So make sure that there is some reciprocity and you're talking about what it looks like for us to be sending leads to each other, and what does it look like for us to generate leads with each other, okay? So that could be going back to, different home buyer education forums. Maybe if you're looking to attract sellers, they can help you, tell them about home equity lines. Maybe you all can do lives together. They can assist you with open houses, but leverage your lending partner relationships, because again, it's going to further solidify and position you as an authority as you are building your database of ready, willing, and able buyers. Okay, friends, so that was 7 ways for you to attract those buyer clients. And remember, I have the buyer attraction checklist for you. So everything that I share with you in this episode, you literally can download it and have a checklist to help you so that you are taking advantage of the low-hanging fruit in this season, not ignoring listings, but maximizing your potential buyers. And in the next episode, I'm going to actually share with you what it looks like to talk like and communicate like the top 10% of real estate agents. I'll see you there.